Our spine has many different tasks in our everyday life. It provides central support for our skeleton and holds up our body. In order to fulfill these tasks in an optimal way, it must be supported by strong surrounding muscles. Thus, it's important to do regular back exercises.
My motivation to take part in the training was to do something to relieve tension, to learn how to practice specific exercises and stretching with the guidance of a qualified trainer. In the group, it's more fun than alone. To be honest, at home, I rarely do it, not until it hurts, but by then it's often too late.
Poorly trained back muscles are a risk, as they can cause problems in our daily life. The muscles are not able to support the back sufficiently. The whole load weighs heavily on the spine, and thus we're getting back problems and pain. One of the main health problems nowadays.
My motivation is to do something for prevention. I don't have any back problems at the moment, but it's good for strengthening the muscles. And I like the exercises, they are good for me. When you reach a certain age, you start getting quite stiff, and that's what I would like to avoid.
It's important to start training your back as early as possible, and to become aware of the needs of your spine, so that you can work against the strains in your daily life when you're young. However, you can also exercise and train your muscles very well in your later life.
I like the course because I can do as much as I want to do, and I don't feel any pressure to perform well. I've got some problems with my balance, so I sometimes need a little more support. I do it as well as I can, and it's accepted.
As a trainer for a 50+ group, you really have to respond well to the needs of your participants. You have to ask if they have any existing problems. Keep them in mind, and also tell the people that they shouldn't go beyond their pain barriers. It's also important to set up the exercises slowly, so that the training is really effective.
The training in the group is very good for me, as I learn to do stretching exercises. Sometimes I am quite tense, and now I can relieve it, and I can also practice at home. Yes, I definitely feel better.
In order to gain positive effects from training your back, you should mobilise your joints and do some stretching exercises for shortened muscles on a daily basis, and for 2 or 3 times a week participate in effective strength exercises. Exercise 1. In order to prevent balance problems and falls that are linked to them, it's important to do balance training exercises every day. An easy exercise that can be integrated into your daily routine is the one-leg stand. You can practice this when you're brushing your teeth in the bathroom. Find a firm, level floor space and keep a balanced stance, so that your weight is equally spread between both feet. Make sure that your pelvis is centered, that your abdomen is tense and your shoulders are low. Stretch your neck and keep your back straight. Then stretch out one leg and try to keep the balance. Try to hold this position as long as possible so that your supporting leg and your balance are exercised. If you're good at it, you can get some movement into the exercise. You can try to stretch your leg forward. Pull it back, stretch it to the side, take it back, stretch it backwards, and pull it back again. That way, we're working on the flexibility of our hip joint as well as working on the stability of our upper body, as we must tense the waist to keep our torso steady. It would be good if you could practice this one leg stand and the movement exercises daily. Enjoy it. Exercise 2. In order to keep your spine and its discs healthy, it's important to mobilize your spine on a daily basis. A gymnastic ball is a nice tool to use for this exercise. With regards to the size of the ball, make sure that you can position your legs comfortably in a right angle. First, you just sit with a straight pelvis, low shoulders and straight posture. Then we start to move your pelvis to the side. When we tip the pelvis to the side, your spine gets mobilized. After tipping sidewards and getting back in a straight posture again, we make our back round as we roll back and straight again. Round and straight again. You can do it more intensely when you move your whole back backwards and forwards. Make sure that you keep your shoulders down. This change is very important to keep our discs healthy. When we move them, they fill with fluid and stay elastic. That's why we should practice daily. Exercise 3. The next exercise is good for strengthening our deep muscles. Get onto all fours. It's important to start in a stable position. To do this, we put our arms shoulder width apart and our legs hip width apart. There should be a right angle between your arms and your torso and also between your legs and your torso. The shoulders are kept low and the neck is in line with your spine. Pay attention to your pelvis too. Your spine must not be sagging, but it shouldn't be flat either. Make sure that you keep the natural curve of your spine. Tense your lower abdominal muscles, lift your pelvic floor and keep your pelvis stable in this position. While exhaling, stretch your left arm forwards and your right leg backwards. The back remains in the same position, as if there was a glass of water on it. It must not collapse. Replace your arm and your leg. Now tense your abdomen. Pull your other arm forward and your other leg backwards. There is just this movement of your arm and legs. The body remains in the same posture all the time. If you would like to make it more difficult, you can stretch out your arm and leg diagonally again, and then try to take away your second foot for a moment, balancing on your knee. By taking it off the ground, we lose our stability and our deep muscles have to keep the balance. Once again, stretch out your arm and leg and lift the foot of the other leg and put it down again. It would be good to keep the position for 5 to 10 seconds on each side and to practice on both sides at least 3 times. Ideally, you should do this exercise 2 or 3 times a week. Enjoy the training